Getting rich is repetitive. Being successful is repetitive. I know what works and I'm going to continue doing that so I can grow.
Yeah, just getting this call uploaded and everything.
You may take a trade trying to follow your process, but what is the real intention behind it? Because if you have an outcome attached to it, if you have an expectation, the intention changes. We all go through the same things. So anything that I do, you guys can do. Anything that I go through, you can go through.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today it is Sunday. Today we have a lot of work to do. Today we have a lot of value to give. We're about to hop on our first VIP call of the day. It's 8 a.m. The first call is going to be on trading concepts, what we're expecting for the week, and I'm going to be going over the trade from last week that made me $2,000. This trade right here, beautiful trade. We're going to be going over it, and then the session later on tonight is going to be a mindset call. We're going to be talking about everything required when it comes to mindset. So without all the yapping, let's get straight into this session. I'll probably put a little bit of clips, but if you want the full access, if you want the recording, if you want to be able to be here live, you got to join the VIP. But I'll give you guys a little snippets. First things first, I want to talk about the trade from Friday. I'm either looking for price to retrace into an old fair value gap based off the higher time frame, and that's where I'm going to be looking for my entries to basically look to take the price the way it's been going. Or the other way I like to look for trades, I like to look for false breaks of an old higher low. So let's just say price was consolidating, it kept making this high. Once price runs above it and gets a little reaction, those are also moves that I like to catch. But these are the only two types of moves that I like to catch, and anybody that's on the free course, that gone through the free course, you know those are my two main types of trade setups. And now this is all you'll ever really need, because these trade setups happen on every time frame, every day, all day, fucking long. But it's just a matter of what's going to be high probability, because there's going to be trades on every time frame. There's going to be trades every day, every week. But now it comes down to which one is going to be the one to play out. Which one is going to be the one that's going to be able to make me money. And that's what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to go over this trade idea. Going to go over what my expectations are for next week. We're going to talk about what you can control. And we could talk a little bit about funding, because I feel like the biggest factor with a lot of people that keeps them in the same cycle is chasing funding instead of focusing on the process itself. Trade from Friday wasn't a false break. The trade from Friday was a fair value gap fill, meaning price had to push higher. We retraced into an old gap, which would be this blue box, and we continued higher. But now I want to actually go over what I was thinking in the midst of all this. So when I first came to the charts, the first thing I did was mark up the previous day's high. Why do I mark up the previous day's high? I do the previous day's high and the previous day's low, because one thing I want you guys to understand, when it comes to the daily trend, when it comes to where the market's going to go on a day-to-day basis, you shouldn't be looking 1,000 points away. You shouldn't be looking 4,000 points away. You should be looking in the closest vicinity to be able to get the ideal move for the entire day. If you're a day trader, you shouldn't be looking to hold trades for 5 days, 6 days. You're a swing trader at that point. If you're a day trader, you don't need to be on the charts in trades for 12, 13, 14 hours long. Nobody wants to be in a trade for that long. Nobody wants to sit on the chart for that long. Nobody wants to wait for the results that long. You know what I mean? Now, with the previous day's highs and lows, these are close areas of liquidity that are likely to get targeted. Not every single day, but if you go back to each day, look at how often a previous day's low or high gets ran. In this case, previous day's low got ran. In this case over here, previous day's low got ran over here, but we also have the previous day's high that got ran. So I won't even pay attention to the low. Previous day's high got ran over here. And then the next day, previous day's high got ran. Just little word of advice, when you want to follow the trend, pay attention to the daily trend. If yesterday was bearish, today more than likely is going to be bearish. It doesn't mean it's guaranteed going to be bearish, it's more than likely. If yesterday was bullish, the likelihood of today being bullish is more than likely. So now, with that understanding, I took that into consideration when I came to the charts. When did I come to the charts? I came to the charts at 9:30 in the morning. 9:30 a.m. is when I came to the charts. And as soon as I came to the charts, this is what I did. I marked up the previous day's high, previous day's low. And the first thing that I noticed was price was extremely bullish since the London session. Now, when I got to the charts, we were over here. This is where we were in that time. So this is where it's going to go, where and why I was taking the trade idea. The first thing that we always wait for is time. Timing is 100% key. Before anything, before I look at the charts, before anything, I'm waiting for the right time, because unless it's the right time, we may not get the volume that we're looking for. So even if I have the best trade idea in the world, if there's not enough volume to be able to get me that trade within a timely manner, it may not make sense. The high probability may not be as high probability no more, because it may take way longer than necessary. Nobody wants to wait 10 hours to be in a trade just to lose. Nobody wants to do that. But after it's the right time, I immediately go to higher time frame and I look for fair value gaps. Why? Because I already have the previous day's highs marked up, previous day's lows. Those are areas of high probability that if I'm gonna have a false break, those are the areas that I would watch for. And in this case, we weren't at an old high, we weren't at an old low. So I would be using it more or less as a target. So since yesterday was mainly bullish, I was mainly looking for price to reach for that previous day's high. That was my idea behind it. There's nothing complicated. I wasn't reading some crazy magic candles. No, I simply saw that yesterday was bullish. So the likelihood of today also being bullish, because London is already bullish also. So that's another key thing. I wait for New York session because I can then use all the previous price action to my advantage. I can use the London session. I can use the previous day's Asian session. I have a lot more price action to go off of. It's like having a book that's fully written versus having a book that's not fully written. If it's not fully written, you're not going to really understand what's going on. But if it's fully written, you should be able to get the idea, get the story behind it. And that's essentially what coming at New York session does. So when it comes to higher time frame, I mainly like to just look at the 1 hour and up when it comes to my higher time frame. So the 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily and weekly, those tend to be the main areas where if I'm gonna look for a fair value gap, it's gonna be on those time frames. But 9 times out of 10 is on the 1 hour or the 4 hour or the daily. One of those three. I usually don't go any lower. If I have to go lower, I will. But ideally, I don't go lower than the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the daily when it comes to my fair value gaps. Now, with that being said, we're going to start off on the daily and see if there's any gaps in this area. So besides that previous day's high, I don't see a gap. So we move on to the 4 hour and you just keep it simple. If you don't see what you're looking for, move on. First thing I notice is we have a gap all the way down here. I don't know if that had a move off of it, but we're going to see once we get into that lower time frame. But all I do see is price had a gap in there. And there was also like a little gap in here. We're gonna go to that lower time frame to kind of get an idea, but that's why you got to go to the higher time frame, because the higher time frame isn't always gonna look the best, but the higher time frame is giving you the highest probability idea on what's gonna happen based off of the higher time frame. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? So that first gap is the one that played out. So that first gap that I just marked up on that 4 hour time frame, see this one right here? But the main thing I want you guys to understand is timing. Price traded into what? This 4 hour gap, and also keep in mind this 4 hour gap is also aligned with a 1 hour gap. So we just got down to the 1 hour time frame. We looked at the daily, had no gaps. Went to the 4 hour, we had 2 of them. We went back down to the 1 hour and we could see that it traded into that first one. And now that we're on the lower time frame, we also see that there's a gap in between here also. So it just goes to show the higher probability. Where did I get my entry? I got my entry right when price came into that 1 hour gap with about a 50-point stop loss. Me personally, one tip I'm gonna give you guys, don't go for the sniper entry, especially if you don't have that much experience, because you're gonna miss all your fucking trades. Trying to get that perfect entry, you're gonna miss a lot of fucking trades. Perfection in trading is gonna be the thief of your joy. All right, we're done with that call. Smooth session, I ain't gonna lie. Didn't want to do nothing too crazy, just because it's the charts. There's not really much when it comes to the charts on the weekend, but we went over my expectations, went over what we control when it comes to your entries, your exits, fair value gaps, false breaks. Talks about that $2,000 trade that I caught. Like I said, you guys probably saw a little bit of clip, so I don't even got to explain it to you. We're about to get on with the rest of our day. I got to shower, got to get to the gym, got to do all these things, got to make some content. Just doing what we do every day, man. Just another fucking day. Just another day changing our lives. Also gotta walk these dogs. Yeah, just getting this call uploaded and everything, as you guys can see. But while I'm at my computer, before I move away from it, let's go look at how much we're up for the day. So with VIP sales, we're up $80. Now, when it comes to the money I make during the weekends, I don't make money trading during the weekends. And for the most part, the only money I make during the weekends is money from either a partnership that I have, if I get the money, but it's usually just once a month, or VIP. VIP is one of the businesses where it's like consistently money coming in all the time. But honestly, that's probably the only money that makes it. I don't know how much we'll make from the VIP sales, but that's why we continue creating content, we continue giving value, and we continue giving people more than enough. I'd rather give you more to the point to where you think Joining up for VIP is a no fucking brainer. I'd rather do that than give you so little that you're like, maybe I need to join, maybe I need for that information. Now, I'm gonna overflow you with so much information, so much value, change your fucking life, so that in return, you'll just join VIP. I want you to see the results for yourself. Trust. I'm trying to get up out of these clothes. Pause, no diddy. Shower, taking a shower.
We here? We working every single fucking day. These videos are gonna be repetitive, but guess what? Getting rich is repetitive. Being successful is repetitive. I know what works and I'm going to continue doing that so I can grow in each and every individual fucking industry. My health, my mindset, finances. Those matter, and then helping other people. But that's why we have the content. The content is value for free. The only thing you guys pay me with is your time. That's what the content is. Me giving back to the world. Everything that I go through, all my trials, tribulations that I'm learning from, I can tell you guys, I can teach you guys. You can learn from what I went through so that you don't have to go through the same shit. And if you do go through the same shit, you'll know how to better handle it. Yeah, I just started recording. I've already been working out for like 15 minutes. Got a little pump, feeling good, looking good. And that's all this is for, to feel good so that we work good. I was listening to this podcast, or was it podcast or YouTube? I listen to so much content that I forget where I heard it from, but it was this quote. The expectations that you're setting changes the intention behind the action that you're doing. Your intention is everything. You may take a trade trying to follow your process, but what is the real intention behind it? Because if you have an outcome attached to it, if you have an expectation, the intention changes. I don't care if your original intention was to follow the plan. As soon as you put that money into your head, chasing the money, winning a trade, being successful, one step closer to your goals, that expectation, that's when the intention of the trade now changes, and that goes for everything else. For example, me in the gym right now. Any expectation that I come into the gym, let's just say my expectation today was to come in here and leave looking bigger than how I came in. What if that expectation isn't met? What is really the intention behind me coming here? Am I coming to the gym to progress, to get strong, to follow a process, or am I coming just for the outcome? We can't focus on just the outcome, because when you're focused on just the outcome, you don't worry about the process. And that's very key in trading. But I always tell people in the team, always tell you guys, trading teaches you a lot about life, success. All these concepts, all these things that we go over like rules and laws of life are for everything. Fitness, your business, relationships, all the way around. The only thing that changes is the variable, the gym. Trading. Those variables are the only thing that changes. The concepts, what we have to do, the traits that are required, they don't change. Yeah, also getting that Wes Watson and greater purpose. Come on now. Gotta stay educated. I don't care who you are. The job's never finished. Every time you think you made it to that next level, every time you think you made it, guess what? Go harder, because you ain't make it. You just made it to the next level. And you may have overcome those obstacles, but guess what? New ones are gonna come. Keep going. Losses are lessons. Everything happening for us is happening at the right time. It's about what we do with the time. It's about what we actually do. I could say all of this. Words mean nothing. Action means everything. Get them arms, boy. Get them arms. All right, we back again. Back in the same spot for round two. Round two with the team. Pause. That shit sound crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Second session of the day. That shit sound crazy. I ain't gonna lie. One thing about these videos, I gotta learn how to say things without it sounding weird. You know what I mean? Because especially being in front of a whole bunch of people all the time, all the eyes, all the attention, not even just YouTube, social medias, you gotta learn how to say things a certain way, because at the end of the day, I could say something one way and somebody perceives it differently. And you ain't about to come back and get me in 10, 20 years because I said some shit. Nope. But all the yapping aside, we about to get this session started. This is gonna be a mindset session. I'm gonna talk about pain. I'm gonna talk about how to stay disciplined when it really matters. How to stay disciplined when it's game time, when it's time. Because at the end of the day, being disciplined is key, but you need discipline in very key moments in your journey, in your life, on the day-to-day basis. And that's what we're gonna be going over. So, I'm gonna get everyone rounded up, get them to join, and we're gonna have it all recorded as always. I'll have a little clip, it won't be too long, because you gotta join VIP for the game. If you want the game, if you want the sauce, you gotta join VIP. I still give the sauce for free. I just won't put all of it. is from my experience. And my experience is more than likely what a lot of you are gonna go through. One thing that I definitely learned with trading, and not even just with trading, just with trying to be successful, just life in general, we go through the same fucking problems. We go through a lot of the same things. It may not be identical, but the concept on how to overcome it, or the concept on how you felt, or just overall, we all go through the same things. So anything that I do, you guys can do. Anything that I go through, you can go through. Anything that I overcome, you can also overcome.
When it comes to the times that we're supposed to trade, that is something that's in our control, because we can show up to the charts early. We can trade high impact news such as CPI when we're not supposed to. We can do all these things. It's a matter of having the discipline not to. It's about having the discipline to do what we're supposed to. And in another case, go back to this trading plan that I have. The setup types, that is something that we have control of. We have control of the types of trades that we're taking, and we have control of when we're getting into the trades. What's going on, Angela? Don't tell me you don't got no pants this time. You better not just have the top on. Nah, I caught you again. I caught you again.
Great call. Nonetheless, I enjoyed it. That was a good one. I'll definitely add a little clips in it from here. I need you guys to see that one. But if you want the full recording, you got to go in there. We had a little Q&A at the end. We talked about a whole bunch of things, temptations, talking about being able to get over smoking habits, drinking habits, bad habits, the discipline in having a good daily routine, how to be disciplined when it really matters, all the good stuff. But if you want to have it all, join VIP. But this is where we're gonna end it all off. We gotta get ready for a great week. Gotta get ready for the trading week, because that's when it all really matters. That's when the money comes in. That's when the content that you guys enjoy watching when it comes to taking trades comes in. So we gotta get ready for it. So with that being said, if you wanna learn how to trade like me, the free trading course, free trading webinars, check it out, completely free. And once you're ready to join a community of like-minded individuals to get the value like this on a day-to-day basis, join VIP. The results don't lie. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Stay safe, stay productive.